日本よ、かつて神々の庭と呼ばれ、清冽な水と凛とした精神が山河を覆っていた美しき国よ。そして今、私の言葉に耳を傾けている人生の午後を生きるあなたよ。聞こえるか。これは過去の亡霊のざれ言ではない。あなたの魂の最も深い場所、コンクリートと電子音にうずもれ、失速しかけているあなた自身の野生が上げる血を吐くような叫び声だ。鏡を見てみたまえ。そこに映っているのは誇り高き大和の民の末裔としての顔か、それともただ老い、ただ疲れ、死という不可避な運命から目を背け、虚勢された家畜のように安寧を貪るだけの抜け殻の顔か。いかれ、そのたるみ切った己の精神に劣化のごとくいかれ。私が今日言葉という刃を用いてあなたに突きつけるのは老後の慰めなどという甘美な麻薬ではない。これはあなたが人間としての尊厳を奪還し、残された命の時間を太陽のように激しく美しく燃焼させるための血と鉄で綴られたよみがえりの書である。現代の日本を見渡すとき、私の胸は張り裂けんばかりの憤りと深い絶望的な悲しみに支配される。物質的な繁栄、経済大国。なるほど。確かに街はネオンで不夜城のごとく輝き、店には季節を無視した食料があふれ、人々は清潔で柔らかな服を身にまとっている。しかし、その目はどうだ。かつてこの国の男たちが、女たちが持っていた、あの静かで、しかし、決して折れることのない鋼のような光が、今の日本人の眼底にあるか。朝の通勤電車を見るがいい。誰もが手のひらにある小さな発光体に魂を吸い取られ、隣人の存在などないかのように振る舞い、まるで死人の行列のように無表情で運ばれていく。そこには、他者への敬意もなければ、自己への誇りもない。ただ楽をしたい、損をしたくない、傷つきたくない、責任を取りたくないという、希少な欲望と保身だけが、重く、よどんだ空気となって年を覆っているではないか。あなた方は、平和を愛すると口にする。平和、平和と念仏のように唱えれば、それが実現するとでも思っているのか。今の日本にあるのは、真の平和ではない。あれはただの無気力だ。闘争を避け、摩擦を恐れ、面倒なことから逃げ続けた結果、精神が腐敗し、ドロドロに溶けてしまった状態を、平和とは呼ばない。それは精神の死だ。家畜小屋の安寧だ。私がかつて予言した通り、日本は空っぽになってしまった。経済という名の化け物に魂を売り渡し、便利さという麻薬に溺れ、人間として最も大切な背骨を失ってしまったのだ。空っぽだからこそ、そこにあらゆるガラクタが詰め込まれる。流行という名のガラクタ、ゴシップという名のガラクタ、不安という名のガラクタ。あなたの心は今、ゴミ捨て場になってはいないか。特に、人生の後半戦、50代、60代、70代を迎えたあなたに問いたい。あなたは今、何に怯えている？老後の資金か、病気か、孤独か、あるいは、刻一刻と迫り来る死の影か。笑わせるな。武士道とは、死を恐れぬことではない。死を直視し、それを友とし、常に懐に抱いて生きることで、逆説的に生を極限まで輝かせる技術のことだ。あなたが不安なのは、貯金が足りないからではない。健康診断の数値が悪いからでもない。あなたが不安なのは、あなたが生きていないからだ。今日という一日を、命をかけて、真剣勝負として生きていないからだ。明日の保証などどこにもないという厳粛な事実から目を背け、なんとなく明日も生きているだろうという傲慢な惰性の中で、貴重な時間をドブに捨てているからだ。だから、虚しいのだ。だから、怖いのだ。完全燃焼していない焚き木はいつまでもくすぶり続け、煙たい煙を吐き出す。それと同じだ。燃え尽くせ、灰になるまでも焼し尽くせ。それが生きるということだ。私が提唱する武士道を取り戻せという叫びは、何も明日から刀を差して歩けということではない。切腹をしろということでもない。そのような時代錯誤な形式の話をしているのではない。私が言いたいのは、心の在り方、精神の姿勢の話だ。現代風に翻訳するならば、それは究極の自己規律であり、 絶対的な主体的生き方であり、何よりも美学を持って生きるということだ。まず、その腐りきった被害者根性を、今この瞬間、かなぐり捨てたまえ。国が悪い、政治家が悪い、会社が悪い、子供が冷たい、時代が合わない、妻が、夫が理解してくれない。口を開けば不平不満、愚痴、言い訳、恥を知れ。自分の人生の不遇を他者のせいにするな。環境のせいにするな。その瞬間、あなたは自分の人生の主導権を他人に明け渡していることになるのだ。奴隷の思考だ。武士にとって、すべての責任は己にある。雨が降ろうが、槍が降ろうが、それをどう受け止め、どう処するかは、すべて己の器量の問題だ。不運に見舞われたとき、なぜ私だけがこんな目にと嘆くのは、三流のすることだ。一流の人間、武士の魂を持つ人間は、こう考える。この試練は、私の魂を磨くために天が与えた砥石であると。この逆境こそが、私の人生という舞台を盛り上げるための演出であると。そう腹をくくった瞬間、世界の色は一変する。苦難は不幸ではなく、成長の糧となる。理不尽な上司も、不誠実な友人も、あるいは病気でさえも、あなたがいかに美しく、いかに気高く生きるかを試すための、天からの挑戦状に過ぎなくなる。これが腹を決めるということだ。腹が決まった人間は強い。誰の機嫌も伺う必要がない。自分の良心、自分の美学という絶対的な羅針盤を持っているからだ。そして、現代人が失った最も大きなもの、それは羞恥心、すなわち恥の感覚だ。今の日本人は、法律に触れなければ何をしても言いバレなければいい、他人に迷惑さえかけなければ個人の自由だと嘘吹く。なんと嘆かわしい、下劣な考えだろうか。武士道における行動基準は、六法全書ではない。美学だ。美しいか、醜いかだ。誰も見ていなくとも、お天道様が見ている。何より、夜の静寂の中で、自分自身の魂が、自分の卑怯な振る舞いを凝視している。嘘をついて得た金で食べる飯はうまいか。人を蹴落として得た地位でふんぞり返るのが幸福か。いいな。断じて非だ。自分を欺いて生きることは、魂に対する緩慢な自殺行為だ。自分の良心に背くたびに、あなたの誇りは削り取られ、瞳からは光が失われ、顔つきは卑しく歪んでいく。逆に、損をしてでも筋を通す。馬鹿を見ても誠実を貫く。誰が見ていなくとも、落ちているゴミを拾う。誰も見ていなくとも、靴を揃える。そういう陰徳を積む生き方こそが、あなたの内側に、何者にも侵されない。絶対的な自信、すなわち誇りという名の黄金の城を築き上げるのだ。50代を過ぎて、顔が良い悪いなどという造作の話ではない。その人の生き様、積み重ねてきた精神の形が、そのまま顔のシワとなり、眼光となって現れるのだ。美しい老人になりたければ、心を美しくするしかない。小手先の美容整形や、若作りのファッションなど無意味だ。内側からにじみ出る高潔さだけが、老いという残酷な現象に打ち勝つ唯一の武器なのだ。また、私が世の中を見ていて耐え難いのは、言葉の乱れだ。言葉は、単なる情報の伝達ツールではない。言霊だ。魂の入れ物だ。荒っぽい言葉、汚いスラング、若者に迎合したような薄っぺらい流行語を、いい年をした大人が使っているのを見ると、私はその口を縫い合わせたくなる衝動に駆られる。言葉が乱れれば、思考が乱れる。思考が乱れれば、行動が乱れる。行動が乱れれば、生活そのものが荒廃する。すべてはつながっているのだ。ありがとう、恐れ入ります、ごきげんよう。こうした美しい日本語の一つ一つには、相手への敬意と、自分自身を律する強力な力が込められている。丁寧な言葉を使うことは、相手にこびることではない。自分自身の精神の意を高め、俗悪なものから身を守る結界を張ることなのだ。コンビニエンスストアの店員に対して、タクシーの運転手に対して、横柄な態度を取る老人をよく見かけるが、あれこそが最も醜い、武士道の対極にある姿だ。立場の弱い者にこそ、丁重に振る舞う。それが強者の余裕であり、真の品格だ。明日から、言葉を変えたまえ、背筋を伸ばし、 一語一語噛みしめるように美しい日本語を話したまえ。それだけであなたの周りの空気は正常になり、安っぽいトラブルや不愉快な人間関係は朝霧が晴れるように消え失せるだろう。次に肉体について語ろう。現代人は脳ばかり肥大化させ、肉体を軽視しすぎている。書物やインターネットで知識を詰め込むだけで自分が賢くなったと勘違いしている。だが汗をかかぬ知恵など何の役にも立たない。文武両道とは勉強とスポーツの両方をやるという意味ではない。精神と肉体は車の両輪であり不可分であるということだ。精神の形が肉体を作り、肉体の形が精神を作る。50代を過ぎれば肉体は確かに衰える。重力に負け皮膚はたゆむ。だからこそ鍛えるのだ。老いに無駄な抵抗をするためではない。精神の器を保つためだ。肉体がたゆめば精神も必ずたゆむ。猫背になれば視線は下を向き、思考もネガティブになる。逆に胸を張り丹田に力を入れ大地を踏みしめて歩けば不思議と勇気が湧いてくるものだ。太陽と鉄の恩恵を受けよう。冷暖房の効いた部屋でぬくぬくと過ごすだけの肉体に強靭な魂など宿るはずがない。散歩でもいい、庭仕事でもいい、武道でもいい。肉体に負荷をかけよう。筋肉の喜びを感じよう。自らの肉体を律することは自らの運命を律することの第一歩だ。鏡に映る自分の姿がだらしなく崩れているならば、それはあなたの心が崩れている証拠だ。直立せよ。天に向かって垂直に立て。それが人間の本来あるべき姿だ。そして決断だ。現代人は迷いすぎている。失敗したらどうしよう。老後の資金が減ったらどうしよう。人に笑われたらどうしよう。そうやって迷っている間に人生という砂時計の砂はさらさらと音を立てて落ちていく。武士道とは決断の哲学だ。葉隠れにある武士道というは死ぬことと見つけたりという言葉の真意は死に急ぐことではない。いつ死んでも悔いがないよう毎春毎春覚悟を持って決断せよということだ。二つの道で迷ったら困難な方を選べ。楽な道には成長はない。楽な道には感動はない。困難な道こそがあなたの潜在能力を引き出し魂を燃焼させる焚き火となる。失敗、それがどうした。何もしないで死んでいくことこそが最大の失敗ではないか。挑戦して傷つくことの何が恥ずかしいのか。傷跡は戦った者の勲章だ。何もせず安全地帯から他人を批評して一生を終える臆病者になるな。あなたの人生の主人公はあなただ。観客席に座るな。舞台に立てスポットライトを浴び汗をかき恥をかき、それでも演じきれ。それが生きるということだ。死ぬ時にああいい人生だったと言えるのは無傷で生きた人間ではない。傷だらけになっても自分の足で歩いた人間だけだ。ここでもう少し深く生活の美学について掘り下げてみよう。あなた方は日常の些細な行為を軽んじすぎている。例えば食事だ。あなたは今何を食べている。店の弁当をただの燃料補給のように胃袋に流し込んではいないか。それは飼育だ。食事ではない。武士道とは一碗の茶一膳の飯に宇宙を見る感性だ。質素でいい。一汁一菜でいい。しかしその素材の命に感謝し器の美しさをめで姿勢を正して一口一口を味わう。その時あなたの食卓は神聖な儀式の場となる。テレビの騒音を消し静寂の中で食事をしてみたまえ。米の甘み、出汁の香り、季節の移ろいが五感を通して魂に染み渡るのがわかるはずだ。その豊かな時間を捨てて何が豊かさか何が幸福か。生活の一つ一つを丁寧に扱うこと、それが自分自身を大切にするということであり、ひいては人生を大切にするということなのだ。玄関の靴を揃える。脱いだ服を畳む。部屋の隅の埃を払う。こうした誰にでもできる小さな規律の積み重ねが、やがてあなたの精神に何事にも動じない不動の心を作るのだ。だらしない生活からは、だらしない精神しか生まれない。部屋の乱れは心の乱れだ。 今すぐ立ち上がり、窓を開け、よどんだ空気を入れ替えよう。それが、運命を変える最初の人たちとなる。さらに言おう。忍耐という言葉の意味を履き違えてはならない。現代人は、嫌なことに耐えることを忍耐だと思っている。あるいは、理不尽に耐えることを美徳だと思っている。しかし、武士の忍耐とは、そのような受動的なものではない。それは、自らの志を遂げるために、あえて困難を受け入れる、能動的な強さのことだ。目的のない我慢は、ただの消耗だ。しかし、高き理想のために、今の苦しみを甘んじて受け入れる姿は、美しい。雪の中に立つ梅の花を見よう。厳寒に耐えるからこそ、あれほど香り高く、気高く咲くのだ。あなたにも、咲かせるべき花があるはずだ。年齢を言い訳にするな。葛飾北斎は90歳になってもなお、ガニの向上を願った。伊能忠敬が日本地図の作成に歩き出したのは50歳を過ぎてからだ。人生に遅すぎるということはない。あるのはやらないという惰性だけだ。今、あなたが抱えている苦しみ、孤独、老いへの恐怖、それらすべてを、あなたの花を咲かせるための肥料とせよ。逃げるな、直視せよ。その苦しみの中心にこそ、あなたの魂を覚醒させる鍵が隠されているのだ。孤独を恐れるな、ということも強く言っておきたい。現代人は群れたがる。SNS でいいねを求め、薄っぺらい共感を求め、仲間外れになることを極端に恐れる。しかし、真の武士は孤独を愛する。孤独とは、寂しさではない。それは独立独歩の証だ。自分自身の魂と深く対話できる、豊穣な時間だ。群れの中でしか安心できない人間は、弱い。自分の足で立てないから、他人に寄りかかる。一羽の足を見よう。一頭の虎を見よう。彼らは群れない。孤高だ。しかし、その姿は圧倒的に美しく、威厳に満ちている。あなたもそうありなさい。みんなが言っているからテレビでやっていたから。そんなくだらない理由で自分の意見を変えるな。世間がどうあろうと、自分は自分の信じる道を行く。その覚悟が決まったとき、あなたの孤独は、人を寄せつけない壁ではなく、人を魅了する磁力へと変わる。真に自立した人間同士が、互いの孤独を尊重し合いながら交わるとき、そこにはベタベタした慣れ合いではない。涼やかで、強靭な、本物の信頼関係が生まれるのだ。孤独を知らぬ者に、愛は語れない。己の弱さと向き合ったことのない者に、他人の痛みはわからない。孤独こそが、優しさの源泉なのだ。そして、現代日本人が失った情緒について語らねばなるまい。月を見て涙する心を、虫の音に季節を感じる心を、散りゆく桜に無情を感じる心。この繊細な感受性こそが、日本人の精神の根底にあるものの哀れであり、武士道の裏側にある優しさだ。強さだけでは、人は野獣になる。優しさだけでは、人は無力になる。強さと優しさ、武と文、この二つを高い次元で統合することこそが、我々が目指すべき境地だ。あなたは最近、空を見上げているか、道端の野花に足を止めているか、電子の牢獄に閉じ込められ、世界がこんなにも美しいことを見落としていないか。自然と共鳴せよ。コンクリートのジャングルの中でも、風は吹き、雲は流れ、太陽は昇る。その大いなるリズムに身を委ね、小さな自我の悩みを溶かしてしまえ。ちっぽけなプライドなど、宇宙の運行の前では塵にも等しい。そう悟ったとき、あなたの心には、海のような広大な余裕が生まれるだろう。最後に、日本人が古来大切にしてきた恩と感謝について触れよう。今、あなたがここに存在していることは、奇跡だ。数えきれないほどの先祖たちが、飢饉を乗り越え、疫病を乗り越え、戦争を乗り越え、命のバトンをつないできてくれたからこそ、今のあなたがある。今日食べる米一粒、飲む水一杯にも、天地自然の恵みと、それを作った人々の労苦が凝縮されている。現代人は、それを当たり前だと思っている。金を払っているのだから当然だ、という顔をしている。それが、心の貧困の正体だ。感謝を忘れた人間は、ガキだ。いくら物を買い漁っても、いくら美食を貪っても、心の穴は決してうずまらない。しかし、 ありがたいと手を合わせる心を持つ人間は、道端に咲く一輪の花にも、朝の光にも、無限の喜びを見出すことができる。幸福とは、所有するものの量ではない。感じる心の深さ、感度の高さなのだ。朝起きたら、まず神棚に、あるいは仏壇に、それがなければ太陽に向かって、先祖に感謝せよ。今日という一日が与えられたことに感謝せよ。寝る前には、無事に一日を終えられたことに感謝せよ。その謙虚な祈りの習慣が、あなたの傲慢なエゴを洗い流し、澄み切った静寂な心をもたらすだろう。感謝とは、言葉ではない。魂の礼儀だ。さあ、顔を上げよう。背筋を伸ばせ。あなたは、もう若くはないかもしれない。肉体は衰えていくかもしれない。だが、それはどうしたというのだ。精神は、年齢とともに深まり、輝きを増すことができる。肉体という鞘が古びても、その中に収められた精神という名刀は、研げば研ぐほど、凄みのある輝きを放つことができる。それこそが、日本人が目指すべき老いの美学ではないか。枯れるのではない。透明になるのだ。不純物を削ぎ落とし、純粋な魂へと帰っていくのだ。今日、この瞬間から、生き方を変えるのだ。丁寧に生きよう。真剣に生きよう。靴を揃えること一つ。茶を入れること一つ。人と挨拶を交わすこと一つ。そのすべての所作に、心を込めよう。魂を込めよう。雑に生きるな。一挙手一投足が、そのまま祈りとなり、芸術となるような生き方を目指せ。あなたがそのように生きるとき、あなたの背中は、言葉以上に雄弁に、次の世代へ日本人とは何か、人間とは何かを語りかけるだろう。教育とは、説教ではない。背中で見せるものだ。今の若者がだらしないと嘆く前に、あなた自身が、直立不動の精神で、範を示せ。日本を取り戻すなどという大それたことを考える前に、まず、あなた自身を取り戻せ。あなたが変わり、その凛とした姿を見た隣人が変わり、そうして波紋のように、高貴な精神が広がっていく。それだけが、この国を再び、精神の秀る国へと導く唯一の道なのだ。誰かがやってくれるのを待つな。救世主など来ない。あなた自身が、あなたの人生の、そしてこの国の救世主となるのだ。恐れるな。あなたの血管の中には、数千年の歴史を生き抜いてきた、強靭な武士の血が流れている。それは決して枯れてはいない。あなたが忘れていただけだ。あなたが日常の誇りの中にうずもれさせていただけだ。今、その血をたぎらせよう。魂の火を灯せ。人生は、死ぬまでの暇つぶしではない。魂を磨き上げるための道場だ。どのような最後を迎えるか、それは神のみぞ知るところだ。しかし、その瞬間まで、いかに生きるか、いかに燃えるか、それだけは、あなたの意志に委ねられている。さあ、行け。一度きりの人生。誇り高く、美しく、狂しいほどの情熱を持って、生き抜こうではないか。私が、そして歴代の英霊たちが、常にあなたの背中を見守っている。これが、私からの、そして日本の歴史からの、あなたへの遺言であり、魂の劇である。踏み出せ、今すぐに。
We're just checking you out. Do you know what you want? Do you really know? You really know what you want? Do you know what you want? We're not asking for more volume. We're asking for more contemplation about what that really means. Do you know what you want? You want to know what we think about what you think about what you want? We think that when you know what you want, you are a vibrational match to it, and therefore it is. We've enjoyed this interaction immensely. Have fun. Be easy about it. So when we say, do you know what you want? And you say yes, what you mean is, I've identified through what I've been living, what I would like to experience. In most cases, when we ask that question and you answer it, beyond what I've already manifested. I know what I want. I've got my sights set on things beyond where I'm living. But when we ask you, do you know what you want? Do you think you know what you want? Maybe your answer would be right for that. Have you experienced contrast and so you've identified things that you want? Yes, Abraham. Well, we would believe you about that. But when we put in that very tricky word no, do you know what you want? Are you a vibrational match to what you want? Do you own it? Do you know it? Do you practice it? Is the vibration of what you want yours? Is the vibration of what you want yours on a steady, ongoing basis? Is what you want what you offer vibrationally primarily or mostly? And it was a trick question. Don't feel bad. We trapped you. We did. We did it on purpose. But the clarification that we want to make is, if you will spend some time, and it's really what we want to talk about as we are weaving our way through the subjects that are important to you today, we want you to think about your point of attraction. We've been calling that your grid, your practiced vibration. What is the momentum you've got going? What thoughts do you commonly think? And very important, how do they feel when you think them? And what is the vibrational makeup of the thoughts that you primarily think? Are you thinking about things that make you feel left out? Are you thinking about things that make you feel taken advantage of? Are you thinking about things that make you feel sorry for yourself? Are you thinking about things that make you feel defiant or demanding? Are you thinking about things that make you feel appreciation? Are you thinking about things that make you feel love? Are you thinking about things that make you feel eagerness? Are you thinking about things that make you feel anticipation? Are you thinking about things that make you go, oh? Are you thinking about things that make you go, oh? What kinds of things are you thinking about? Because those things that you think are you in the motion of, in the act of, practicing a vibration. But this is the most important thing that we want you to hear all day, all day, all day ever. Practicing the vibration and therefore setting forth a vibrational momentum that then is underway. A momentum that then law of attraction is responding to. Better way to say that. Momentum that is momentum because of law of attraction's response to the vibration that you've set into motion. So let's assume that vibrations are already set into motion. Things are happening. People are out there. Stuff's going on. There are broadcasts about it. There are people talking about it. You're blogging about it. You're on Facebook about it. You're getting emails about it. You're watching television about it. You're watching documentaries about it. There are all kinds of things in your world going on. You're having personal, first-hand exposure to a lot of things, and you're watching a lot of things vicariously through your news media and television and so forth. But just the same, doesn't matter how it's coming to you, your attention to it means you are practicing a vibration of it. And as you are practicing a vibration of it, then you are establishing and continuing to establish, you are practicing into beingness a point of attraction, a grid, a point of attraction that law of attraction is responding to. So when we ask the question, do you know what you want? Here's the trickery in it, because knowing is having practiced it long enough that I own it and it comes about easily. Practicing it so much that no matter what happens, I still know that. That when something happens that might upset most people who are experiencing it, instead I stand steady in it because I know that things are always working out for me. That I know, because I know that I am the center of my vibrational point of attraction, and that because I have the ability to think on purpose, and more important, because I have the ability to feel about what I'm thinking, and so I have the ability to guide myself gently into more and more good feeling thoughts, now I have control of my vibration, and therefore I know what I want. Now the reason that it was tricky, and we know we haven't won you over yet, the reason it was tricky when we said, do you know what you want, is because you, like most people, think that just by identifying it is enough. And we want you to understand that just by identifying it isn't enough, because you have already set it all into motion. You've been sifting through contrast and variety, and you've been asking for what you want. Whether you put words to it or not, there is a vibrational rocket of desire that has been emanating from you, that's been gathering in the vortex, in the vibrational reality. It's been gathering, and it is already done. But until you know what you want, until you know it so well that you've practiced it so often that it comes easily to you to know it, until you know it because you can feel it in your belly, you can feel it, you know it because it feels like enthusiasm, it cannot manifest. So really, the fairest thing for us to have said to you is, you can only really make us believe that you know what you want if what you want is happening now, happening now, happening now, happening now. And a lot of what you want is. A lot of what you want is happening now. A lot of it is. A whole lot of it is. You are stable in so many ways. There is so much well-being that you know and therefore are living every single day. But when we ask, do you know what you want? Immediately, your mind turns to those not yet manifested things, and you think that what we're asking you is, have you identified? Well, we would never ask you that in that way, because we know you identified it piece by piece, because we know what's in your vortex. We know what you've been asking for. We know what you've evolved to. We know what you've expanded to. So this question is really what this Art of Allowing workshop is really all about, is you practicing yourself into the knowing of it. So if someone says to you, is there something that you want that hasn't yet manifested? You could accurately say, yeah, there are things, there are experiences. There are things that I know I'm looking forward to experiencing that I'm not yet experiencing. But if someone says, do you know what you want? Then you can say to them, yes, everything that I know that I want, I am living, because I've practiced myself into the knowing of it, and therefore it has become not just a vibrational reality, but it has become a manifested reality. So what'd you get out of that? Not much. Not much. Not much, because you don't know what we know about what you want. But as we talk more today, we want to bring you around to an understanding that what you really want is alignment. What you really want is connection with who you really are. What you really want is to be an extension of the source energy that is really you. What you really want is to be standing in a momentum that is in keeping with who you really are. What you really want is to be in sync with the current that is really you. What you really want is to be moving toward the manifestations. And we want to clarify something. We're not saying to you that everything you want must be manifested already. That can never be. You are eternal beings. You're not ever going to get it done. You got to make peace with that. So if someone says, do you know what you want? You want to say, yes, I know what I want. It's an ongoing avalanche of wonderful experiences to me. Well, do you get everything you want? Yeah, I do. In time. It comes to me like my food, incrementally, just enough to keep me satisfied every day. Well, do you have everything that you want? No, and I never will. Because things that I'm going to want in the future, I've not yet lived the contrast to set them in motion. There are lots of things that I'm going to want, because this is an expanding universe, and I am the creator of my expanding universe. So I'm always going to be wanting. That's why I came into this body, to expose myself to contrast in order to give me clarification about what I want. And the reason that we're visiting with you like this today is because we are so looking forward to you understanding that your conversation about what you want is only for the simple reason of you practicing the vibration of it. In other words, when we ask you to think about what you want, or to rampage about it, or to make lists about it, or to try to dialogue about it, to script about it, we just want you to practice the vibration of what you want. If you will find someone right now who's living something that you want that hasn't manifested in your experience, and you will just examine them and their living of it, watch what they're doing, notice how they're feeling, practice the vibration of someone else living what you want until you own the vibration of what they're living. And when you own, meaning you've practiced it so that it comes easily to you, so that it's your point of attraction, your ongoing point of attraction, now your grid equals that, and you know it. And we want to say to you, when you know it, it's there fast. When you know it, then it's yours. When you know it, it fleshes in all the fullness that you want, you see. So do you want to have everything that you want? Say no. Do you want right now to have everything that you want? Do you want right now to have everything manifested? Do you really want everything manifested right now? Or are you looking forward to practicing the vibration of it? Do you think a painter would have very much fun painting if he could just go zap? Ooh, good. That was really good. Zap. Oh, man. Man. Zap, 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 zap. Now I need a warehouse. I'm going to hold off on this a little while. I got too much stuff happening. I don't have a place to put it. You don't want that kind of manifestation. You don't want that. You don't want things to just show up. You want them to come to you in perfect timing and in perfect order. And you want them to set you up for the next desire. Really, you do. Everything that you now are in the process of attracting to you, once it gets there, it's just the new framework. It's just the new bouncing off place for something else, you see. So we're going to continue to trap audiences for years into the future by saying, do you know what you want? And they're going to tell us, yes, I know what I want because I have this long list of not yet manifested things. And I talk about this list with my friends, and we yearn together, longing for the fulfillment of this unfulfilled list. And we say, that's not what we mean by wanting. By wanting, we mean, and we know, don't write letters to Esther. We know that wanting sort of speaks of wanting. It sort of speaks of things not yet come. You're wanting for something. I'm wanting for something. So let's use the word desire. Do you have desire for things not yet manifested? Isn't that great? And do you hold those things as your object of attention while you practice yourself into vibrational alignment with them? And do you feel movement? Can you feel when you've moved from ornery to hopeful? Can you feel when you've moved from hopeful into believing and from believing into knowing? And then it manifests. So what we're really talking about more than anything is a little bit of hindsight here. Because when a contrasting experience has happened to you, and the contrast has helped you to identify that there are some components missing in what you think would be a perfect experience, and so you know that you're asking for something that you must not be up to speed with because, why? If you were up to speed with it, you'd be living it now. If you were vibrationally up to speed with your desire, you'd be living it in its full, fleshed out, see it, smell it, taste it, hear it, touch it version now. And if you're not, then you're not up to speed. But isn't that okay? Isn't that all right? Don't you want plenty of things that you're moving toward? Can you feel that what we're wanting you to do? We're wanting you to start feeling happy about your now, no matter what it is, because you've still got your hands in the clay, and it's still satisfying to you to mold it. It's still satisfying to you to explore contrast and realize that your life about this subject could be better than it is, and to feel eager anticipation about you thinking the thoughts that will accommodate that, about you thinking the thoughts that will make it easier for you to be the recipient, the fleshed out version of these things that you want. How I feel right now matters so much. How I feel right now matters so much because how I feel right now is about what I'm emanating, and what I'm emanating equals what I'm getting back. And so how I feel is really the only thing that really matters. How you feel in any moment in time is the only thing that really matters. Most humans don't know they have control over that, because most humans, we love you so much, you are conditional in your now. The way you feel right now has so much to do with conditions that you are living, that you are comparing one to another, that you are remembering, that you are regurgitating, that you are emphasizing, sometimes unnecessarily, that you are exaggerating. You do. You exaggerate things to make points with others who don't get it. That's the thing that trips you up the most, you know. You're so determined that you're going to get somebody else to see from your point of view that you talk really a lot about what your point of view is, even if it doesn't serve you. Even if your point of view does not equal what you want. Oh, I had this terrible experience. Let me tell you about it. And in the telling you about it, let me practice the vibration of it so that I own it, so that for sure it's my point of attraction. And so there is a little bit of justifying and defending going on. There is quite a little bit of, there is an enormous amount of defending, that was funny, going on that isn't necessary. And we want today to help you sort of shake loose, to realize that you get to feel the way you want to feel, and that the conditions don't need to matter. You can feel good unconditionally. And when you do feel good unconditionally, your point of attraction now is not about current conditions, which is the only way anything can change. If your point of attraction is about current conditions, then there's just a regurgitation of what is. So it's different faces, different places, but the same experience over and over again, isn't it? But if you can separate the conditions that are not pleasing you from the vibration that you're emitting, which means you're loving unconditionally, you're having clarity unconditionally, you're finding alignment regardless of the condition. And how are you doing that? Because you understand the laws of the universe, because you understand your point of attraction, because you understand law of attraction, because you understand focus, and most of all, you understand that how you feel really matters. And if you don't feel good, you do something about bringing yourself to a place of feeling better. Which brings us to the most important subject that we will ever talk with anybody about. And that is your path, or the path, your path of least resistance. Your path of least resistance and your path of most allowance are the same thing. For a while we called this gathering the science of deliberate creation. But you got too worried about that. Deliberate creation, the science of deliberate creation. So you'd hear yourself saying something and it would scare you. You try to suck it back before a law of attraction could get hold of it. You became fearful of your own thoughts. And so we began calling it the art of allowing. It is an art, it's a practiced art. The art of allowing myself right here, right now, to be a vibrational match to what I want, even if the conditions aren't showing themselves to me yet. I'm unconditional. I'm practicing the art of vibration about what I want, even though what I want hasn't shown itself to me yet. And when you get that, when you get that you can control your vibrational output, which means you can control what comes back to you. You can control your vibrational output when you are able to consciously separate what is from what you're offering vibrationally. For a long time, we've been saying to you that most of you, we love you so much, most of you offer most of your vibration in response to what you are observing. And that makes you, as a people, feel like you have to control what's going on out there. Because if you see good things, you feel good, and if you see bad things, you feel bad. So let's get rid of all the bad things, even though that's vibrationally not possible. This is a universe based on attraction. There's no exclusion. When you shout no at something, you're actually saying yes to something you don't want. Vibrationally, because there's no yes or no in your vibration. There's just attention to it or not attention to it, you see. So when you understand the laws of the universe, and you understand, and this is the most important piece that you got to get for any of the rest of it to make any sense. You are source energy in this physical body, and the source energy part of you is active and emitting a signal. In other words, your soul is with you all day, every day. That source energy part of you is emitting a signal that law of attraction is responding to. So when life caused you to say, I don't like not having enough money, I want more money, the source part of you began emitting a signal about more money. So every time you notice you don't have enough, since source is noticing that there is plenty, there is a discord within you that you feel in the form of negative emotion. Everything is like that. Your inner being has an opinion about everything that you have an opinion about. And law of attraction is responding to both of those vibrational focal points. And that's what equals your guidance system. So you can tell when you're on point by the way you feel. You feel great. You feel clear-minded. You feel sure-footed. You feel fun, eager, alive, vital. You feel lighthearted and happy. You feel determined and sure-footed. You feel enlivened. You feel empowered. You feel invincible. You feel sure. And if you feel anything less than any of that, that means you're focused upon something that's enough off from who you really are and what you really know to be, that you are introducing resistance, which is the opposite of allowing, into the equation. And so in the moments of those negative feelings, you're not practicing the art of allowing. You're not practicing the path of least resistance. You're practicing the art of resistance and the path of most resistance, you see. So as we sort this out today, it'll be fun. We're eager to talk with you about anything that matters to you. Nothing is off limits. You will notice a perfect unfolding as we are playing together. And you'll also notice that sometimes someone who's sitting here will represent something that matters to you, and the dialogue that we will have will be just what you're looking for. So whether you actually sit in this seat and visit with us or not, it is our promise to you that we know where you are, we know what you want, we know what you have created vibrationally. We know that the life that you have lived has caused an expansion of you, and we know that the way you feel is about how well you are in any given moment in time, keeping up with that expansion. And so our job here today is to help you get hold of a piece of a thought that softens your resistance and helps you to find the path of least resistance. That's what any friend does for any friend. Amplifies the allowing part of the equation, which means no pointing out problems, no really being a sounding board for problems, just getting as quickly as possible to the point of what you want, and then finding the path for you of least resistance. And that's the most interesting thing about life, isn't it? Your path of least resistance isn't necessarily like anyone else's, and it isn't necessarily like your own was just a minute ago. In other words, the path of least resistance is about from where you are right here, right now, to where you want to be. And where you are right here, right now, changes. For example, let's say that you are employed and you are not happily employed. You don't like going there. You don't like being there. You don't like doing what you have to do while you are there. So it doesn't feel like the path of least resistance for you. So you've come to one of these gatherings and you've heard Abraham say, it's important to follow your path of least resistance. And you say, okay, I don't like being there, so I'm not going to go there anymore. And we say, well, let's talk about this before you turn in your resignation. Let's talk about if it really is the path of least resistance. In other words, we know you don't want to be there. You've just told us that you don't want to be there. But we also know that you have some financial responsibilities and some people that you are tending to, maybe financially. And so just quitting that job, is it really the path of least resistance? And by that we mean, would you feel better or worse by doing that? Well, in a abrupt moment, you might say, better, way better. I'd feel way, way better, way, way better. But you might have quitter's remorse because it really isn't the path of least resistance from where you are right now. Long term it is. Long term, you might say, I'm not always going to be here. That's the path of least resistance. Long term, you might say, this is temporary for me. That's the path of least resistance. But if you say, I'm leaving here today, and you don't have anything else figured out, that's not the path of least resistance. So what happens with so many humans is that they are trying to figure out what behavior is right and what behavior is wrong. And we say, it sort of kind of depends on where you are, doesn't it? In relationship to where you want to be. Aren't there a lot of factors that equal whether this is the path of least resistance or a path of more resistance? And really, can anybody else in the whole wide world tell you what your path of least resistance is? They can't, can they? They don't know what you've been living. They don't know what you've carved out. They don't know what you didn't like and what you did like and what you've created in this vibrational reality, which is where your inner being stands. They don't know what you have vibrationally evolved to, and they don't know where you stand in relationship to it, and they don't really know how you feel, even though you tried to tell them often how you feel. They don't really get it. They've just got their distorted perspective of how you feel. So as you begin taking a poll, what do you think I should do? 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 Then you give up your own guidance system and you lose your ability to sense your own path of least resistance, and then you're just kind of all over the place, making decisions that don't serve you with no long-term, obvious improvement in your life experience. But when you get it, that you've been carving out a very clear perspective of who you are, and that you are supposed to thrive, and you are supposed to feel good, and you are supposed to be happy, and that vibrationally speaking, that non-physical part of you is, and that you've got some habits of thought. You do. That's all a belief is. It's a habit of thought. It's a thought you keep thinking. It's a vibration that you practice. And law of attraction helps you practice it because you've been practicing it. And so that's what law of attraction brings back to you, to practice some more. The more you observe, the better you get at practicing what is, and the worse you are at helping things move more to what you want. So you've got beliefs and perspectives about what is that are different from what you want, but are more dominant than what you want. And that's what's got to change. You can't keep looking at things the way you've been looking at them and feeling about them the way you've been feeling about them. If there's anything that we want for you, it's that you leave this gathering with a very clear intent that nothing matters more to you than that you feel good, which means nothing matters more to you than that you are aware, alert to your own guidance system, which means nothing matters more to you than your willingness to find the path of least resistance. And the path of least resistance always feels better than the path of more resistance. And there's something that we'd like to say as we get started here. We're not ever going to ask you to find the path of no resistance. And we're not ever going to ask you to be on the path of no resistance forevermore. You came into a physical body because you want to sift and sort. We're talking about the path of lesser resistance. We're talking about using your guidance just to tell whether this thought is beneficial or not. And when you get good at this, you can tell. You can just feel when you're moving towards something that is of benefit to you and others, and when you're not. You have superb guidance because you have a cadre of non-physical energies consciously aware of you. Not just aware of you, but knowing you, knowing who you really are, and holding a vibrational tone, a vibrational beat, a vibrational signal that represents purely who you are. Ooh, that's such a good thing. And because that signal of who you really are is so powerful, and because law of attraction is responding to it in such a powerful, consistent, never-ending, never-yielding way, that creates a calling of you to that. That's what your path feels like. It feels like you going home. It feels like you being whole. It feels like you feeling good. It feels like you getting what you want. It feels like right path, right path, right path. Get the hang of this? So, path of least resistance and guidance system and momentum and law of attraction, all same subject, yes?